Hello, it's Giles here from 101 Part-Time Jobs. If you like what we're doing and you'd like to support us, you can. For £1, £4 or £10 a month at our Patreon, patreon.com/101 Part-Time Jobs. You can help support our independent production. We are so happy with the way this is going. We appreciate all of you listening and watching our episodes. So thank you for being here. If you'd like to take it that one step further, you can. That's at patreon.com/101 Part-Time Jobs. Cheers.
You said this place was steps from the water.
We just haven't found the steps yet.
How much did we save?
Enough.
Enough to get lost?
Or you could book a stay with Hilton.
Welcome to your oceanfront room, just steps from the water.
The Hilton sale is on now. Book on Hilton.com or the Hilton app and save up to 20% to get the stay you expected. When you want savings, not surprises, it matters where you stay. Hilton, for the stay.
Some things are impossible to miss, like an elephant in the room, or a bull in a china shop, or this season's amazing offers, brought to you by PayPal. Discover offers from hundreds of brands like Viator, Allbirds, and Tory Burch right in the PayPal app. Save an offer before you check out with PayPal and earn unlimited rewards. Download the PayPal app to get started. Terms and exclusions apply. See paypal.com/rewards terms.
101. Show's called 101 Part-Time Jobs, Truman.
Okay.
I feel like that says it like on the tin, but that's kind of the new way that everyone lives now, especially artists. And that's kind of my philosophy with the show, is that there is like a new, I mean, for generations already, but there is like a new kind of philosophy about the way that people make music.
Yeah.
And then from the audience side, there's like the red curtain is pulled back so much more than it was.
Yeah.
You know, and that's socials obviously, but it's kind of just getting to know the artists you love and you're into. And that I find like, when I listen to a record, I'll listen to the story as much as I listen to the music.
Right.
And I always love that. Love a good rock doc.
Yeah.
You know?
Uh-huh.
And when I was saying earlier before we press record, but like when I started this, it was like, we want it to be like a Wayne's World. We want it to be normal. We don't want it to be wanky.
I love Wayne's World.
Wayne's World's fucking sick.
Of course.
You know, and that kind of, coming down these stairs, this is like a classic practice room. This is a comfortable spot.
Oh, yeah.
So from like the start of playing music, like what introduced you to like playing gigs, getting out there?
Me, I was a new kid in high school, you know, so I didn't have any friends for like 3 years. So I just locked myself in my room and I just played guitar.
Brilliant.
And before I was
oh
yeah. And it was like, you know, you get your own little mind palace there and it's a beautiful thing. But before I was a new kid, I had like bands with my friends in middle school or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was great. So I really felt like I kind of lost something when I was a new kid. But luckily, I had consumer recording gear, which is like now basically you can make professional sounding recordings with that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was in my room on a cracked version of Logic that I stole from somebody or something. Yeah. I think it was like my friend or whatever. So I had this cracked version of Logic and I was just like recording guitar and then recording another guitar and then writing a song. I actually spent a couple years making like 8-bit chiptune.
Hell yeah.
You know?
Happy hardcore.
Yeah. I mean, I just loved like Super Mario Brothers and everything.
Yeah, wicked.
Yeah, so I was just on the thing making like...
It's fun.
Yeah.
And what was your reference to that? Like, you know, I think 25 years ago, everyone was watching MTV2 and like everyone was watching like Smashing Pumpkins or before that Nirvana, whatever. Like now, it's kind of everyone's listening to all different kinds, right? So what were your reference points to it?
I mean, I don't know. I think the chiptune stuff... Well, the chiptune stuff was just because I love video games, you know what I mean? But then I started making more like math rock and like I love this band Toe, who's a Japanese band, and I was really coming at it from a guitar player's perspective because that was my thing. So I would just... You're
a savant.
I mean, I don't know about that, but I was playing something like 40 hours a week or something, and I had like a regiment because I wanted to be really good at it, and I think that like you can learn a lot about yourself by like committing yourself to something like that. So I played a lot of guitar. Yeah. And that led to me recording guitar, and I was making like, because I had the chiptune thing, I was like programming MIDI, you know? So then I went from doing programming MIDI synths to like programming MIDI drums, and then I could make math rock because I could play guitar, I could play bass, I could do the drums, but I had no vocals on it. You know what I mean? So I probably spent a couple years just doing just instrumental math rock music, right? Which is awesome and like made me so happy. You know what I mean? And then I was like, well, I gotta, what else can I do with this? And so that's when I started writing songs and everything, so I could have something to sing over it.
That's so cool to know that backstory and how like there was that world that was already built before. I think when we get introduced to like even if it's like the first demo or EP, like before an album or anything, we kind of think, we do look at artists or musicians as like, oh, like this is their whole world. This is everything they've done. But usually it's like an iceberg, right?
Yeah.
And there's so much beneath the surface.
I mean, there's more than even that. Like after I started doing the math rock with the vocals, then I made one of my first friends and he was like kind of playing bass, but not really. But I was like, look, man, like just let's go hard. Like you play the bass. And that was my friend Griffin. And we started this band called Frat Mouse. And we were singing about playing video games because that's what we would do. And then we would make music afterwards. And so
awesome friendship.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're still great friends. I mean, it's been amazing. And I found like most of my community through just doing music.
Yeah.
I think everybody I'm friends with now I met one way or another through doing music. Like all my bandmates are all my best friends and everything like that. But yeah, we started this band Frat Mouse, and that was like we were writing these songs together, and we got really into emo music. We loved like Mom Jeans and Hot Mulligan and the Front Bottoms and all stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And then he had a bunch of friends, unlike me, which was awesome because then we could go and play in like his friends' backyards. And if he called up all of his friends and he was like, "We're gonna play the show," they were like, well, "Since when do you have a band, man?" So they all.
I think that's the smartest thing to do. Like if you're a new band and you're like, "Oh, wouldn't it be great to like do the support tour?" Da da da. Kind of fuck that. Like make your own party.
No, yeah, I mean, and we didn't have any. I remember one time we said that our biggest goal was to play at the Smell because we were like we didn't even know what it was like to be we didn't have any concept of being a real band. There was nobody who even for a moment thought that we could ever do this professionally. It was literally just because it's so fun.
And the Smell, for people who don't know, is like
the best venue in the world, maybe.
Set it up. I mean, I haven't been.
Well.
What does it smell like?
Well, I was gonna say the name is apt. I mean, it's like it literally smells like piss and cigarettes, which is kind
where
of
you want to be.
The smell of home in a lot of ways. But yeah, it's just this little volunteer only venue in downtown Los Angeles where it's just a bunch of 17-year-old kids putting on shows with their friends and everything, and it's just one big room and sounds like maybe garbage or maybe awesome depending on how you view it. I think it sounds great. But yeah, it's like kind of. I used to go there. And then. Like I said, our dream kind of came true. We started playing at the Smell like every weekend, like throughout college. And so I would pull up and I have like great memories of just pulling up with my truck and like you can't have any alcohol in there because it's just not, it's not how they do it. You know what I mean?
Is it all ages?
Yeah, it's all ages and it's run by kids. You know what I mean? There's one dude who owns it and he has 2 dogs and he sits there. His name's Jim. Shout out Jim. I don't know if he knows me, but I say hi to him every time. And, and like, but it was cool. You know
exactly that feeling. Like you go to gigs all the time. You're like, I know that person.
Hey man, I'm back. Like I was literally there every weekend, you know? But yeah, I mean, eventually some of the kids that were working there started to know me and they would give me like free coffee and Nutter Butters every time I'd come up, which was awesome.
Perfect.
And yeah, we would just go in there and it'd be like a 8-band bill and you play for 20 minutes and you put your stuff on, throw your stuff off as quick as possible, mosh to the other bands and like go home, which is awesome. I mean, this doesn't get better than that.
Do you like carry that spirit in you now? Like, is that like a foundation of who
that's
you
why
are?
that's why I wake up in the morning. I love that. That's why I want to do this. 'Cause that was like showed me, I mean, it can get deep. Like it's community and it's friendships and it's expressing yourself and it's writing a poem about something you really care about and then playing it as loud as you can with your 3 best friends and making kids mosh. Like it's awesome.
It's the kind of thing that most 15-year-olds would be embarrassed about. But you give them the place to do it and it's normal.
Well, I remember like I was a big metalhead growing up and I remember like you wear your Slipknot shirt around and suddenly you have a bunch of friends, like people, like it'll be like some 45-year-old dude being like, "Rock on, man!" And you just feel like
skate shoes.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, you're a skater.
You find a community like that is the essence of life. And so for me, I found it through metal music. I found it through making math rock and through emo music and the Smell and all these things. So, I mean, now I feel like I'm writing about. I've grown up now a little bit more, and now I'm writing about these bigger things. To me, like I mean, it's not really bigger, but it's just. Maybe just new things that I've like found. And I still feel that same thing. I mean, now I'm going and playing like the Echo and we have, it's mosh pits and now it's dancing and it's singing along and it's all these new things. And like, Frat Mouse is one of those bands where it's like every single song's a 10, like energy wise, you're just going as hard as you can, biggest mosh pit, trying to crowd surf, whatever. And now I feel like I have this medium where I can make people sing and dance and take them on a thing and bring it down and talk about stuff that's like whatever and just use
you need to bring it down to bring it up again.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of learn that from electronic music actually.
Oh yeah.
You can only go hard if you're kind of coming out like the peaks is when it's coming up again.
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, and it's been great. So I definitely carry that with me. I mean, that's why I do it, honestly, I'd say.
Hell yeah. It's I like the when you grow up in that kind of environment, or you learn there, no matter what age you are, right, that it's not about money or it's not about success. It's about like being part of something.
I mean, I was in a band and all my friends were in bands where every single member was 1000% certain that this was just for fun. Like nobody was trying to do this to get to blow up or to do anything or to make money or whatever. Like it was just because you have something to say or you have a feeling that is so strong, you just got to get it out. And then you go and you find people that see eye to eye with you on those things, and that is super powerful, and it gives you a place to be in the world and everything. So,
and the irony of that is that you probably make better music if you're doing it.
Well, it's really the only way to make music, I think. Honestly, I think that if you're doing it for any other reason, I mean, whatever, you can do it however you want. Who am I to say? But in my opinion, the coolest stuff is when you're just doing it for you and for your friends and for all that kind of stuff. So
you must have learned loads in the last like 5-10 years about like what you want to be, how you want to do it. You know, this show is, 101 part-time jobs. Kind of the main thing we're trying to do is kind of help music be a sustainable thing. And I guess, we're doing it our own way by trying to, having people in here to talk candidly and openly about like how it works for them. Like, what have you learned about like what you're trying to do and how you're trying to make it sustainable? I mean, just as a backdrop, so many bands, come and they do the big first album, get loads of like, get an advance, spend all the advance, and then it's kind of a bit of a myopic way of thinking. I think people are wisening up to that now and being like, okay, what's the best way to do this for the long run?
Well, I went to college or university or whatever for audio engineering, so learning how to use microphones and compressors, and I've always been recording, because I was recording the music for my band, my first band, and my music now. I record all of it that's out. I've been doing a little more like collaborating recently, but I mean, I went to school for audio engineering, and that was my plan. I was going to go be an audio engineer, and then at night I can write songs on my acoustic guitar, and I'm low-key going to know the secrets about the microphones. Like, I just think that stuff is cool. So for me, I wasn't like, okay, I'm going to write 12 songs, then that'll be my job. It was like, what can I do to stay in the world of music while I get to write songs that matter to me?
Right.
And
there's different kind of like classes to music as well. Like, you will have that school of people who are like, trying to make it their whole income. Yeah. You have people who, and obviously it's like the most honorable thing. I always think, like, if you have someone working full-time Monday to Friday and then they play in a bar band on the Saturday,
that's awesome.
That's like a great lifestyle.
100%.
What a sick way to live.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I mean, I love all that stuff. Obviously, I get it. You know what I mean? You're in a band, you want to make it work, you want to do that. I feel that too. Like, I'm not saying that that's not a goal of mine. I love traveling around with my friends and like being here in the UK, and I just went around a lot of Europe, and it's been an insane experience. Like, I totally understand that. I guess I'm just trying to say, like, at the end of the day, I just wanted to keep making music. Yeah. And there's
so much you're not in control of.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know if a tune is gonna
no
do things.
No, you can't control the outcome at all. And so it's like, you just got to be honest to yourself and see what happens. And another one of my secret strategies was like learning how to record music. Yeah. Because I always figured,
exactly how you want it to sound like.
Well, yeah. And it's like, if people don't want to hear my songs, maybe they want to hear my friends' songs, and I can help them because I've learned about how to do this thing, So
awesome.
So yeah.
Hell yeah. What was the first track that you wrote and you were like, this is pulling at the right string. This is kind of...
Well, it's happened to me a couple of different times, honestly, because I've just had... I mean, I feel like I've had like musical breakthrough moments like 100,000 times. Like, every time I always try to make something new that makes me feel a different way or makes a different world in my mind or something like that. I mean, for this project, I think a big one was, the first song I ever put out is a song called Dog. And I remember I was in a dining hall in college, and I had just played this song for my roommate, and then we went and we got like the worst burritos ever at this dining hall. And he looked at me and he was like, dude, like, you just have to make a solo project. Like, you just have to put this out under your name, because I think he just was touched by that song, which was really cool. And I was doing frat mouse at the time, and he knew about it. He's seen that band because we used to play at the college all the time. And he was like, dude, this is something, like, you should just put this out under your name. And like, I think you should do this. I think it's time for you to do this. So that was a really powerful moment.
That's really nice for your friend.
Oh, it's crazy. And he was really serious. Like, sometimes you can tell when people are really saying something and that they really want to tell you. Yeah. And it was one of those moments where he really looked at me and I was like, wow, okay. And he inspired me, and then I put it out.
And doing something under your own name, we had Kevin Morby on the other week, and he was saying how one of his friends said to him years ago, like, it's funny being a solo artist under your own name, because if you have any enemies, they're going to find you on the marquee.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, it is kind of weird. I mean, now I get some texts like people I knew in middle school. They're like, "Yo, dude," and it's awesome. It's awesome. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's just funny because like, wow, no way. That kind of thing definitely is a trip, and it's kind of fun. But
one of the things I think is so brave is writing about how you feel, writing about how you're feeling at a time, and committing it to tape, and kind of reconciling that feeling of knowing you're not going to feel that way forever, but it being okay to talk about it now.
Yeah, I mean, I come from the emo music sphere and metal music where the whole point is like, this is how I feel and I don't care, I'm gonna say it as loud as I can, you know what I mean?
Those Hot Mulligan lyrics, ace.
Oh yeah,
like kind of respect for how brave.
Yeah, you're just saying exactly how you feel, and it really, that type of music really connected me when I was in like high school and like as a teenager, because you could write about anything and turn it and just be honest, and then it became this thing that, you know, you can make art about. And I thought that was awesome. And like, I didn't understand Neil Young until I was like 22, because I felt like he was talking about stuff that I didn't like. What am I supposed to do with this? You know what I mean? Like Heart of Gold is like, yeah, it's awesome, but like, I don't understand that feeling. But then when I got older, I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like I really, I feel like I lived enough life to sort of get it a little bit. Yeah.
And like writing in metaphors or writing stories for other people, like Joel Roberts.
Yeah.
Was that a tune that you wrote and it was like, okay, this is...
I was going to say, that's another one for sure. Something. I wrote that and I was like, wow, this is like way bigger than me, honestly. I don't want to sound too crazy or anything, but...
It's a hit.
I mean, just in the way, like just the types of emotions and the types of things that it discusses just felt bigger than me. And I was honored to... This sounds crazy, but I just was like, wow, this is... awesome that I get to sing this and that I get to do this, because, you know, I talked to a lot of people who that song means a lot to them, and that's like the greatest thing, because if I can facilitate some kind of like emotion out of somebody and some kind of you know, like big, I mean, people have said crazy things to me about what that song means to them, and that is something that that's like, well, what more could I ever ask for out of life, honestly?
It's interesting when you read like a couple of lines that kind of bounce off each other, go back to back, and it's like, wow, it like elevates the whole thing.
Yeah.
There's a few of the lines of that song where it's like, whoa, this is kind of, it's big. It's so big. You said it. It's like bigger than you. It's bigger than anyone.
Yeah, it was just this crazy thing. And that was around this time when I was starting to write about, when I felt confident enough to write about bigger topics. It's because I turned 22 and that's when I made that record. And a lot of my heroes had made big records when they were not big popular, but like records that deal with these big life concepts when they were 22. And I was like, well, then let me give it a shot of like not just writing about video games and like breakups, but let me think about like what I really think about this grand experiment in this grand crazy place that we're in. So I started writing songs about that and just like trusting myself to do that. And then when I wrote that song and a couple other, I mean, a lot of songs on that, the ones that ended up on that record were kind of the songs where I was like, okay, this feels like something that I can stand behind and like feels like a proper take. So,
and 22 still so young.
Yeah, I mean,
it's still so young.
No, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's just the kind of thing, I don't know. I guess, yeah, but I have nothing to say about that because I've never been any older, you know, but.
Do you think there's a part of you that's like trying to stay green, stay interested, stay curious? Because like, that's what we know about being young, right? I mean, I'm 35, but because of like, I've engineered my lifestyle to be so, I'm just trying to remain curious, you know, like my partner's super curious, like my friends are curious, like,
well, definitely.
That's like really important to be, it's important to me to stay kind of green in that sense. I'm just trying not to be like a grumpy old dude.
Apathy is the biggest killer. Being jaded is a big killer. I think that it's like have hope or die, have curiosity or die, learn new things every day or die. Like in my mind, I'm just always looking for something that has a new angle at something or just makes me feel something new and chasing that kind of thing, because I think that that's what keeps life exciting. I'm kind of one of those people that really, I'm always looking for something new. I want to feel something, you know what I mean? I want it to be loud or quiet and strong or something, but I just want to feel something.
New EP's pretty rocking. New January.
No, yeah.
Sugar and Blood.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm just looking for something visceral and real, you know, so.
I like on some of the live sessions, you've been like, this is my badass band.
Yeah,
you know, to introduce your band like that is a really nice way of doing it. You know, I think some people might be like, oh, what do I look like? What do I sound like when I say that? But I find it so
my
cool.
band rocks, you know what I mean? And I have to let them know.
You get to enjoy that as well. And like there's a funny thing that happens when people on stage can be honest or open or excited, because as the audience member through the screen or at the gig, it's like, you live vicariously through that person. You know, the person on stage, the person with the microphone kind of allows you to be that.
I mean, whenever I see
with
anybody
him.
get up on stage and do anything honest like that, it makes me want to cry. Like, I just love it.
Oh,
I don't care. Like, I'm there to see people play in bars, in big stadiums or whatever. It just makes me want to cry. I just believe in it. I just believe in
Yeah.
music as the medium. And
Totally.
you know, there's a lot of art that's like that, but for me, music's always been the one that really gets to me. So
Whether it's at like a stadium or at the pub with 15 other people.
yeah,
Like
love it.
my top 5 gigs are probably split between.
Yeah,
like,
right. I know. I love it.
One of them's definitely got 10 people
And
in the
I'm
crowd.
proud to have a band. Like, I'm proud to do this. I grew up loving this. So for me, being like, this is my badass band, like, I'm proud to have a band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
It
you
means
don't
a
want
lot
to
me.
you don't want to settle with that as well. You don't want to let it become like the standard.
No,
You
it's
wanna
not.
Keep being excited about it.
Yeah, it's a real privilege to be able to play music, and I take that seriously. Like, I love to play. So
Hell yeah. What are you, I'm not like a huge fan of like the Q&A sort of type of interviews, as you can probably tell, but I heard someone talk about this. I'm like, that's a good question. And, you know, it's a divisive question perhaps, but like, what are you scared of? Like, what's one thing that you're scared of? You're terrified of?
well, I don't know. I mean,
And I know
that's a
that
good
means
question.
different things to different people, right?
Well, I have a phobia of leeches, so that's one thing. But also, I don't
Leeches
know.
as in like in James Bond when they're swimming through biting
Yeah,
you,
those little
leeches.
things that suck your
The
blood.
ticks.
I don't like leeches for sure. I do have a phobia of
Never go
leeches.
swimming again.
And then also just losing myself or something, which I think I don't think I have really great friends that I've had for a long time, and I've sort of designed my life on purpose to be able to express myself honestly without anybody stopping me from doing it. When that's come from like learning how to make my own music and like always following things that just like make me feel something real. And I feel like when you put yourself in those types of situations and you build that kind of community around yourself, then you won't lose it. But I just don't want to.
I get scared of losing stuff. I get scared of losing like friends or losing like the good things around me, because those are things I didn't control or didn't even ask for necessarily. Be like, oh my God, I feel so lucky. I feel so thankful to have so much good, many good people around. That does freak me out sometimes.
Of course, I'm terrified of that. I'm terrified of my parents dying. I'm terrified of losing my friends or whatever. Of course. So
I think everyone is though at some point.
Yeah.
It's like that thing.
but that's just life. I think life is a terrifying thing. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Most of you watching or listening to this will know someone, if it's not yourself, who plays in a band, puts out music, and are sometimes confused about the way it works. Well, DistroKid is here to help. Now, as well as being able to put out your music, you can get your t-shirts printed there. You can create a merch store in minutes, no upfront costs. DistroKid takes care of all the printing, shipping and support, so you don't get waylaid by the logistics, and you can focus more on writing and putting out good music, right? And just like the distribution, DistroKid never takes a cut, and the artists, you keep 100% of your earnings. It's that simple. Head to distrokid.com/direct. Select the type of products that you want. You can get mugs, shirts, tote bags, and then pick up your album artwork and the price that you want to sell your merch for. Head to distrokid.com/direct. I'm a big fan of hearing about people's jobs, because, you know, it's not like our parents' generation where people would get a job at 18 and work there for 40 years.
Yeah.
That's what my parents did. Most people's parents I know did that. Like, we do live in this precarious time of employment and kind of standing on our own 2 feet. And, you know, I think most people, like, just speaking just truthfully, I think if you're living in New York or London or a big city, your parents are probably helping you out. Like, no shade.
Yeah.
Like, if my parents wanted to give me a bunch of money, great, I'd love that, and I'd take it and try and do something good with it.
No, for sure.
But if without that, for most people, you can't live in a big city, or if it's not living in a big city, then you can't necessarily prioritize your project.
Yeah.
Like, what's been your story there?
Well, when I was in college, I was a runner at a studio for this producer and a mentor of mine, this guy Dave Sardi. I was a runner. His daughter liked my
Dave
band, and I
Sardi.
met this guy. Yeah, he did some like Oasis records and stuff. And he did a
Okay.
lot of British bands. He's now become somebody that I'm really close with, but at the time, he was a good proper boss. You know, I was mopping the floor and just like I was just cleaning bathrooms and stocking the fridge and making sure the labels were turned out, and
He
like
was paying you.
yeah, and it was awesome, and it was just
I mean,
like
that's better than most people doing
it was
that
incredible.
kind of work, you know.
no, it was incredible. It was so lucky.
So many unpaid internships out there.
Oh yeah, well yeah, I mean yeah,
We
it
should
was,
laugh. I laugh because it's ridiculous, but yeah.
No, yeah, I mean they should pay you, but but I get it. I mean, you're just trying to get in there. But I was really lucky that he was paying me, and I was going there every day after class and just like staying there until midnight. And like, I had an awesome opportunity to like see a lot of bands I really like record, and like it was awesome. And you know, it was one of those things where like I was just trying to stay out of the way as much as I could, because you don't want to get in the middle of anything.
Be around it, but kind of just see it, but be invisible.
Yeah, just like help out in any way you can, and also be completely invisible was the name of the game. So so it was sweet. But
and could you see yourself in that position? Were you like, okay, this is what I'm trying to do? What am I trying to do? Here?
No, I was trying to be the best runner I could possibly be. Like I learned how to make really good coffee through doing that. You know? And just like stuff like that. Learn how to clean well. Learn how to mop, which I have a funny story about that because I messed it up a bunch of times. Spilling.
Go on, then you have to tell the story. So I'm just gonna.
Well, it's just I don't know if it's a full story, but I definitely spilled a lot of mop water everywhere a couple times.
And how did when you like when it's spilling the mop water, it's like, okay, this is embarrassing.
It's like I have to clean this up before anybody sees this, or else I'm gonna get fired. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. It was one of those things where he was like, I remember him telling me like, look, if the band thinks you're weird, like you can't, I can't let you be here. Like you have to hold your own here.
Oh my god, that's like anxiety inducing.
Yeah, for sure. And I was
trying to be normal.
Yeah, I was just trying to be like silent, but like help out as much as I could, and just stuff like that. So
can you say any of those bands that came through that like excited you? Anything?
Well, yeah, I mean the first band. When I first started doing it, I was 18 and I had just got my license because I got my license a little bit late. And Modest Mouse was in the studio, which is like a hero band of mine, of course. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I was looking at Isaac Brock and I was like trying not to like cry and like throw up and all that kind of stuff because I was like, this is so cool. And he told me, he was like, hey man, can you like go and wash my Tesla and like fill up and like charge it or whatever? And I was like, I didn't know how to drive, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if y'all have ever driven a Tesla, but I hadn't, and I found out that when you press the gas pedal, it goes forward, and when you release the gas pedal, it brakes. Okay. Like it like works differently than a car that something, I don't know. I didn't really know how to drive it, so that was terrifying. And I called my dad and I was like, what do I do? And he was like, you just gotta try, bro. I don't know. And I'm driving this car. Then? Dude, I got it done barely, but I was driving this car that was worth like 10 times what I was worth or whatever. Like it was ridiculous. So but they were all really nice guys, and it was so incredibly inspiring to see them play, and I got to hang out with their late drummer Jeremiah, who's an absolute beautiful person. So it was really inspiring and amazing. So.
Yeah. Do you know what? I don't think anyone does any really cool stuff, really amazing next level stuff without having been around similar environments before then, where you learn.
I was just trying to soak it all in, and now, like I said, I was trying to be an audio engineer. You know what I mean? So I was learning from there. They had some of the best engineers in there, and I was just like looking about how they drove their Pro Tools and everything, and trying to like really study everything, and just seeing how Dave, like I would try to guess what Dave was gonna say about the track before he would say it, kind of thing, and then I'd always be wrong, and sometimes I'd be right, and I'd hold on to that, and I'd be like, you know, just trying to look at like where his instincts led him, so that I could like just take a piece of that, because I really just love music, you know, and I just want to make cool music that sounds awesome, and so I was learning a lot.
Could that be like the arrangement as well as like mic placement?
Oh yeah, everything. Anything? Yeah, the engineering to the arrangement to the songwriting to the just like sonics. Also just like being in a room where people are listening to stuff critically and like being like, that's the amount of bass that they like, because it's one thing to like listen to somebody else's mix on your own headphones, and that's really interesting, but when you're actually in the same room as somebody who's making those types of decisions and you're like, whoa, yeah, that is too much bass, and then when they turn it down, you're like, that is the right amount. I don't know, it's just something about that was really, really informative.
Can you see yourself becoming a producer?
Oh yeah, I mean, I mean,
you are right, but like,
well, yeah, I mean, I've been doing it. I love it. I was the type of dude that would like go to the Smell or whatever, and like the bands that were playing, I'd be like, "Do you guys record anywhere? Because like, I got a couple microphones or whatever."
I mean, I think people, someone like Chris Waller, who was in Death Cab and like started producing records, and now like that's what they do. You know, that's what he does. It's
no, I would love to do that. I mean, I just want to be around music as much as I can. So I would love to do that. I mean, I've always loved to do that.
Quality. I'm a big fan of like the work gaff, like the work fuck up you mentioned earlier, like spilling the mop, doing the classic thing.
Yeah.
When I worked upstairs here at the Miller, I would smash glasses all the time. I tried to do like table service. I was like, fuck this, I'm not getting paid enough. I need to get some tips. And we don't tip here, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna do some table service and get tipped. I didn't get tipped, and I got a warning from my boss. So but you know, but it's embarrassing. I do remember being in that room next door, kind of being told off, and actually get like a school child welling up a little bit. I still have that. If somebody tells me off now, I like get like that.
Oh my god! Well, I had one that scared me so bad, where I was like writing this song, and I shouldn't have been doing this, to be honest with you, but I was like writing this song out on like the patio, and I was really feeling it. So I started singing it like a little bit too loud. You know what I mean? And I got totally told off. They're like, we have high powered microphones in there, bro. Like if you get caught on one of these takes, like you ruined some good take, like that, think about how bad that would be. And
right, because Modest Mouse is recording.
I didn't realize they were really recording. You know what I mean? It was kind of like later on, but they must have been. I mean, they record in like whatever hour ever, basically. So you can't really tell. But I was just like strumming this guitar and like singing this song, and I got like reamed. It was bad, but.
When I was 18, I moved down to Brighton to go like journalist college, and like a family friend had a flat, and I basically lived with 8 strangers and like shared bathrooms with like sort of 50-year-olds. It was a real mix of people.
Yeah.
And I just remember like within a week or two, us playing guitar at night and singing, and the neighbor was like, yeah, you got to shut up.
Yeah.
And it was like so embarrassing.
No, I mean, that happens. I would
dagger through the heart.
Yeah. I have a little
Not because
recording.
of the quality thing, but it's just embarrassing someone hearing.
No,
you.
I know what you mean. And you just don't want to get on people's nerves and everything.
Totally.
I lived in this house in college that was dubbed the flea house because it had fleas. And there was this shed. I know. And there was this shed behind it. It was like a garage that no one was going to park in. So it was just this shed. And I like put all my recording stuff in there. And I remember like we let the kitchen go so bad that one time I got back from winter break and I walked into the kitchen and then I immediately went out into the patio and just threw up because it was like so gross. It was crazy. And then my band Frat Mouse, we were recording in the shed.
Also, Frat Mouse.
Oh, my
Haven't said
nose
it
is
yet.
bleeding.
Uh-oh.
Y'all got like a...
You do that when you lie.
No, when I'm telling the truth.
No, yeah, that's it. Are you all right?
Yeah, no, I'm good. This happens to me honestly all the time.
Oh, damn.
I was recording with my band there and like we couldn't use the kitchen because it was so disgusting. So we bought a camping stove and we just like slept in like the little garage shed and just like recorded in there and like made a record in there. So yeah, it just is like doing whatever you got to do.
Respect the was it Frat
Mouse?
Frat Mouse.
Yeah,
great
recording
name.
behind the frat. I wasn't in a frat, but
yeah,
you know, it was a college house.
I'm a big I'm interested in the way that there's this new way of getting your music out there, which is obviously like TikTok and socials and like the filming yourself thing. And you've done it super well. You know,
I think it's good. Honestly, I think a lot of people really don't like it. To me, it's a digital open mic. It's more of a meritocracy, and it's a little bit, at least, than it was.
Digital open mic. That's,
you know what I mean?
That's the thing, yeah.
And I think that, like, just in general, sort of having something that you can put yourself out there and have a song and share your voice and share your words, and then people might see it and like it, and then you can go play it for people. Like, I honestly think it's great, to be honest. I know I get it. I don't like doing it all the time, but I mean, it's fine. It's like fun. And it's not like it's impossible. You don't have to like hold a shotgun to a radio promoter's head anymore. Like you can put yourself out there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I think it's good. I really do.
I think there's a thing, you know, you mentioned like emo bands and growing up in that thing. Like the way I got into Tiger's Jaw and Joyce Manor was through Tumblr blog culture.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how and that's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, just like internet culture, and a lot of times it's way more independent than it would be without it.
Do you think that artists, and maybe obviously you can speak for yourself mostly, but do you think people are more in favor of staying at home and using the internet as a way to reach people instead of going on tour and doing that traditional thing of just going on tour forever?
Well, I just think it's expensive to go on tour.
Yeah.
And you can't just go, I mean, I've done DIY tours where you're just doing it with you're not going to get paid enough by any, like you're just playing in houses, right? So there's like you're not getting paid for the shows, you're just doing it.
If you're lucky, you break even.
Yeah. If you're super lucky, you break even, and you're I've done that, and that's awesome, but it's not that sustainable. It's also really, really hard to plan.
Yeah.
And if you're doing other things, you're going to school, you have a job, it's even harder. You got to take time off to do this thing. And in my mind, it's like, if you can get people to see your music through the internet and then go on tour, like, I don't think it replaces it. I honestly think it's just a good way to get that spark going so that you can actually do it in the first place.
I'm fascinated by that ability to be smart as well as be spontaneous.
Yeah.
You know, I think you can do both.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people make music and it's spontaneous and it's great and it works and it's lightning in a bottle. And then like the decisions that people make means that they can't really do it for any longer than a year or something.
100%. I mean, I've done a lot to like defend my ability to make music, you know, and just like make sure that I can
protect yourself.
Yeah. I just want to record and I want to play and I want to record. And so like, whether it's just playing locally as much as I can to try to just be able to, just for fun, just doing that as much as you can, and then like learning how to record myself so I can just always like say anything, because then no one's controlling you. You can say anything you want.
Right.
Like if you're just recording yourself, you can come up with anything and just say it and make a song about it. So
I think that goes further as well than just directly the people that you're working with. It could be the people that you like listen to, or you care about their opinions of. You know, I think it's quite easy to be put off track by like caring about something that's not actually that important to care about.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, well, what do you mean? Like what other musicians
Well, if you're
care
trying to
about your
impress
music?
somebody, you know, in a way that people do, like we're humans, like that's just what happens. We're like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if that person, and then actually you kind of maybe forget about yourself.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a killer.
I'm projecting.
No, I feel that. I mean, it happens. I'm not at all. That's something that I really try to avoid, but it's hard to avoid because you're a human. You want people to like it, and it's awesome when people like it. Like it obviously feels good when you play a show and kids were like, "That is sick," and your friends are like, "That was sick." That's super fun. It's a great feeling, and so I mean, honestly, sometimes I do. Some of my favorite songs I've ever written, I've come home from shows and been like, "Man, that was such a fun show. I had such a good time. The crowd was moving. I'm gonna write this. I'm inspired now to write a song that was even bigger. That's gonna make it move more." And then sometimes you write a song like that, and then you sneak in your agenda into the lyrics. My agenda being like hope and love and stuff like that, and then like go play it and make a mosh pit and have it be this thing. And that has been something that has honestly been really inspiring to me. Been really inspiring, this new record too, because now I have this place where I have people who want to see the show. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm gonna make songs that we're all gonna dance to, and then the verses are for me. You know what I mean?
This is the new record that you're writing. At the moment.
Yeah.
How many you got under the belt?
I got a bunch of songs, honestly, but a lot of them have been road tested and stuff. So now I'm trying to pare it down. I don't like to make. Well, I shouldn't say this forever, but right now I've been inspired to make like slightly like 10 songs, 11 songs, 12 song records. You know, I'm not really trying to make like a big massive thing, even though I think that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, 10, 11, 12 songs is still
like
full
a lot.
album. It's a project, isn't it?
Yeah, but I've probably written like 25, 30 songs in the past like year for this, but I've been trying to pare it down and all this stuff. And
what does it sound like? What kind of things are you write about hope, you write about love? Like what's the general, if you had to describe it, like what are your reference points to it? Are there like films or books that?
I mean, honestly, there's bands I love. Like I love Pine Grove. I love Lucinda Williams. I love, like there's a bunch of, I love emo music. I love Joyce Manor. I love all these bands. So musically, for sure, it's like all my influences that I've always been influenced by, really. But also a lot of it is like, I've been making music for a while, and like, what do I like about what have I found while I'm making music that hits me, and like how can I like distill that, you know what I mean? Like a lot of it is just moving forward in my own personal journey of making music. Like how can this jangle be even janglier? How can this guitar ring even more? How can these drums sound bigger and better and all that type of stuff? Like a lot of it is that. And then like what do I want to say, you know what I mean?
And I suppose you're always looking. I'll listen to records that I know so well, and I'll listen to them after maybe 6 months not having, and I'm like, oh, that I love the way that sounds, or that lyric, or you always keep on finding new things that you specifically like about something that generally has previously inspired you.
I mean, I would say the number one thing that has always inspired me the most is like band music. I make a lot of music that is like drum machines and a lot of effects and all that stuff because I love that stuff too. But when I think about what I would say like is like a mainline project, like a project that's going to have a bunch, because I made a bunch of EPs and stuff and different side projects and put stuff on Bandcamp that sounds a bunch of different ways. But when I think about albums, that I like to think about albums as like a book, like it's a whole thing. It's not like a short story or anything. It's like a proper book. And when I think about that, the thing that's always inspired me the most is like guitars, bass, and drums and vocals, and throw some keys on there maybe if you can get away with it. But like
the dynamic,
you know what I mean? Like that type of thing has always been really inspiring to me. I think it just comes down to like, I've always loved it. Writing a song in your room, something you really mean, playing it loud as hell at the local venue, and then going home. I love that.
That's great live.
Yeah.
Good to meet Truman.
Great
I really appreciate the time.
Thank you so much for having me.
I think I asked you earlier, but I wonder if there's like another like mad shift that you've worked, another mad time. Like, I think like this show, it's tied down by memories and ultimately ups and downs. I think you can have, such massive highs the night before and then the lows come the next day.
Oh yeah.
Are there any particular memories you're like, okay, I learned from that, or like, I'm not going to do that again? or times where you just like you've learned something? You know what I mean? That it was like a defining fork in the road.
Well, I don't know. I was recording. I'm in this band, Fat Evil Children, and I recorded the
Fat
first.
Evil Children.
Yes, sir. And I recorded the first album.
A good band name.
And I remember we would record every Tuesday and every Saturday, and I was the one running the computer kind of thing. And I would just remember how much fun it was to hang out with them and drink beers and talk about things that we cared about, and then at the same time, behind my back, making sure that everything sounded right. And I just think that is such a fun thing, and something that I've always loved. Like, I think that music is about the energy that's in the room and the spirit of the person making it. And so something that I learned there was like, you just got to find the spirit, and then, you know, do your due diligence and like work on your craft. But at the end of the day, it's about the spirit of the project, the spirit of the people, and the spirit of the song and everything. So
hell yeah,
that was a great experience. But yeah,
and that's such a cool thing to remember, because you know that is by definition like intangible, right?
Totally.
So, and it's invisible.
It's something you feel, yeah.
But you got to help remind yourself that that's the priority.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Always.
Thanks, Truman.
Of course, thank you for having me, man. For real.
Love you. Nice one.
Thanks.
So that was Truman Sinclair here on 101 Part-Time Jobs. He's got an excellent EP called Rivers of Sugar and Blood, that came out earlier this year. Truman Sinclair's right at the start of his career journey, whatever, of making some amazing music. So very happy to have him on the show. You can go back and listen to recent 101s that we've done with Stuart Lee. We had West Side Cowboy and loads more from Great Escape. Nothing we had before that as well. Emma Doran, the Irish comedian, Jasmine Myra, and then coming up next week we've got Kevin Drew from Broken Social Scene. Then it's Kingfisher, Rat Boys, Piss, Miniskirt, loads of great stuff coming up. If you want to get it when they come out, click subscribe. Nice one. Cheers. Hello, it's Giles here from 101 Part-Time Jobs. If you like what we're doing and you'd like to support us, you can. For £1, £4 or £10 a month at our Patreon, patreon.com/101 Part-Time Jobs. You can help support our independent production. We are so happy with the way this is going. We appreciate all of you listening and watching our episodes. So thank you for being here. If you'd like to take it that one step further, you can. That's at patreon.com/101 Part-Time Jobs. Cheers.